Hello, this is Carrie, and I'm going to do this video in my kitchen today as I get my kids' lunch ready, because I have tried to sit down and make this video multiple times and quiet time is just not happening. It's summer, things are going, people are wanting to go outside and do things, and so I'm making lunch and my kids are playing downstairs, so I'm going to do my next curriculum guide, my curriculum buying guide video for you. This one's all about BJU Press. And on this homeschool channel, I share all about homeschool curriculum, flip-throughs, how we use it, buying guides like this. I share tips and tricks. I share our lesson plans and even doing a lesson day in the life with us sort of thing. I share how we organize it, all things homeschool. If that interests you, please go ahead and hit the like button now. I really do pay attention to the types of videos that get the likes, and also go ahead and consider subscribing, because I know a lot of you that come here just find me through searches or suggested videos and have not yet subscribed. So please go ahead and consider subscribing, because I don't really have a regular upload to my videos. I've tried to do that and tried to have a schedule, but I'm not really good at it, so sorry. But if you're subscribed, you'll just see those new videos come up and you won't have to go searching for them, okay? So with all that out of the way, we're going to talk about BJU Press today. Now, I have the most experience with their distance learning, although I have done some of the parent-led courses. I mostly have used the distance learning, but I'm going to share with you my buying tips for all of the different kinds of courses, and hopefully my dog won't bark through this whole video. Okay. Hey buddy, come on. Hey, go. So, let's talk first about some general buying guides for BJU Press. First of all, your best bet, your absolute best deal is to buy at a convention or during the Facebook party. Now, during this most recent Facebook party, which just ended in April, right, or May, April or May, it ended in May, I think, and they were offering 25% off a single item, which they don't normally do that for online customers. I don't know if they do that at a convention, but I know that this past Facebook party was the biggest discount I'd ever seen. You can always get 25% off 3 or more course kits, but I've never seen them offer 25% off a single item before. So this was definitely the biggest discount I personally have ever seen, and I've been purchasing BJU curriculum for K1, 2, 3, 4 for 5 years. So I think that really says something. That's the biggest discount I've ever seen. So I would highly recommend, if you have not yet, you need to register for their Facebook parties, and you need to get in there. I don't know if they're accepting people now, because they close off registration once a party starts, and I don't think they've opened it back up for their next party yet. But as soon as I post the registration, I always post it on Facebook, I post it here on YouTube, I post it on my Instagram, and let you know that registration is open. Register and sign up, because once you are registered once for one of their Facebook parties, you are kind of grandfathered in or included in all of their future Facebook parties. So you will just be there, you'll get all the announcements, all the discounts, everything. So that would be my tip number one, because I know not everybody can get to a convention. This year conventions didn't even happen, but everybody, well, most everybody has Facebook and has access to that online party. So that would be my tip number one, would be to get in that Facebook group and get on those Facebook parties, okay? Tip number two, I would say, is you need to really understand what you truly need to teach the course. Know your teaching style and know your children's learning style, because BJU Press is mainly written to Christian schools, okay? Their teacher manuals are super thick. Sometimes there's 2 of them this size per course, parts A and B. And then you have visuals, and you have extra practice books, and you have the main student text, and you have, other lab manuals. I mean, there are sometimes 6 books or more per course. And that's intimidating to a homeschooler, and I think that's why some people prematurely shy away from BJU Press, because there's a lot there. There really is a lot that comes with the course if you just buy what they set out for a course. I'm going to link some videos down below. One, I showed you how I use their teacher editions to teach English in our home. And I'm going to reference that because I think that you could skip a lot of those extra things when you're teaching to one student. There are so many resources in their teacher's edition, and I don't think people realize all that's on the Teacher's Toolkit CD and all that's all that's contained within the appendix of that. I don't think a lot of the extra visuals and even some of the extra workbooks are needed. I was actually able to print off a worksheet for every single grammar chapter in the English 2 course that we did without buying a student work text. That's a $30 savings. Those are meant to be extra practice. BJU Press doesn't advocate that you skip buying the student workbook. They consider that an essential resource. But when I looked at those free practice pages that you could print off from the CD that's in the back of the teacher's guide, I was like, these are the same exact types of exercises that are in that workbook that I'd have to pay $30 for. Why don't I just get a copy of the teacher's edition? And then I have all that I need to teach the course. I have all those teaching helps, but then I also get the student materials as well. So that's what I did when I did parent teaching for English. Or parent-led teaching for English, I did not buy a student work text. I looked at the math, and I'm not really sure that you could do that with math because I think they just have enrichment activities on the guide. I don't think they have like actual exercises that were contained in the lesson. So I don't think you could do that with math, but certainly with English, I know you could do that. And perhaps you would feel differently about math than I do, but I feel like I want more for math than erring on the side of not having enough. You see what I'm saying? Did I say that right? I want to err on the side of having too much for math than to not have enough, because math is something that changes. It's always changing with my son. Sometimes he grasps a concept and we blaze right through, and sometimes we need to hunker down and really practice. And so I would probably be more likely to purchase extra things for math than I would for language arts, where we're going to be repeating the same things over and over again for years to come. So my son doesn't need to do a ton of work in language arts every day in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. He just doesn't. I don't personally believe, because he's going to get all those concepts repeated. So I feel that buying tip could really save a lot of people money and some shelf space, which was also a concern for me. If I just buy that teacher guide, I use that CD in the back to print off those student worksheets, I'm good to go. I'm good. I have room on my shelf for that one book. I don't need to purchase extra things. I'm good to go. Now, tip number 3 I'm going to share with you is you need to go to the BJU After School Help website. I'll leave a link below. If you are considering distance learning, but for some reason the cost is just out of your league, you can't afford it, you need to go and see what BJU already provides on their website at the After School Help website. There's help for language arts and math, and I think foreign language, but it's like foreign language for high school. So I would definitely go to that website because there is a video. It's not a distance learning teacher big production video like their distance learning, but it is a video done by that distance learning teacher in more of like a Khan Academy style way. If you're familiar with those Khan Academy videos, they actually have like a PowerPoint slide or whatever it is called now, and the teacher just talks through some examples and the concept taught that day. And there was dozens of videos there. I matched it up to the different topics in English 4, which is what we're taking this year from BJU Press. And there was a video for just about every single grammar topic that we were going to cover. The videos were about 3 to 4 minutes long, and they just presented the concept taught in the lesson. So if you wanted to, I suppose, you could just try and use those videos along with a student workbook and get the teacher edition. I would try that. If I hadn't already bought the distance learning for this year, before I found the after school website, I would try that. Those videos are meant to help the people that are using the parent-led option. So if you are teaching your child English and you need a little bit of help, or you're teaching your child math and you need a little bit of help, go to that website. Now, I don't think the math starts in the elementary. I think it starts at the 6th or 7th grade level math, but the English starts in elementary, in lower elementary. So definitely check out that website if you are using the BJU Press parent-led option, and maybe you won't find the need to purchase the distance learning videos. Maybe those videos that are free and available will be enough for you, and you won't have to purchase that extra level of help for you. Okay, tip number 4, am I on? Tip number 4? Keep your eye out for that distance learning sale. If you start the year with the parent-led option, you buy all the teacher guides. I gotta work on lunch as I'm talking because they're hungry and they know I'm up here gabbing and they're gonna expect lunch. So I have to keep working on this. Okay, so if you buy the parent-led option with the intent to get videos as like a backup, like you just want to give it a try yourself, but you want that in your back pocket as a security blanket, which is what I did for math this year. I would start off getting the parent-led option, making sure that it is the additions that go along with the videos. Make sure of that. If you're not sure, ask me, I'll help you, or you can go to one of the BJU Press Facebook groups and ask for a consultant to help you out. But make sure, if you want that option to use video later, make sure that you purchase the correct versions of the curriculum, because if you don't, the videos won't line up with the books that you have. Okay, so if you start the year off that way, watch in December or January. They historically, for the last 6 years or whatever, have had a DLO, or distance learning online sale. It's only the videos, no books come with this, but it's $99 per course. One course, with a few exceptions, our Bible is less expensive and so is their spelling, but one course normally costs $299 with books. I think it's like $279 without books or something. I mean, it's not that much different with or without books, but it's nearly $300 for one video course. That's why I advocate using the after school help site first. See if that helps you before jumping into the bigger cost item, or start off with parent-led, use that after school help website, and if that still isn't enough, then add on those $99 videos come December, January, whenever they offer that sale. It is not guaranteed. They are quick to remind us of that. In fact, in years past, I've seen it come in December and January. This past year, I only saw it come in January. So it's not a guarantee. I wouldn't get a course that you don't feel confident at least starting out teaching and just say, it's okay, when we get to the hard stuff and the meat of the middle of the year, I can get the videos for $99. I wouldn't make a plan like that. If you really have an area that you're struggling in and you really want the DLO videos, you're going to probably have to just start out with them, because it's not guaranteed that they're going to give us that $99 sale. What else am I giving them for lunch? Fruit. Here's the fruit. Okay. So that would be tip 4 or 5 or whatever I'm on, is to watch out for that sale. The last tip I'm going to give you, here it is. Okay. The last tip I'm going to give you, obviously we know to shop used, buy used, all of that. But when you're buying used with BJU Press, this goes back to my very beginning tips. When you're buying used, okay, you can find it everywhere. It's out there. Make sure that you ask if the teacher's CD is included and in good condition. Okay, now I know there's no guarantees that whoever's on the other end is being honest. I understand that there's a risk to that. it doesn't help you and doesn't really get you all of these other little saving tip things if you don't have that CD. You really lose a lot of options if you don't have that CD. So any teacher's guide that you buy that originally comes with a CD, if you're buying used, you need to ask good questions and make sure that that CD comes with it, with the purchase of that book, and it's in good condition, okay? Because you won't be able to print off student pages, you won't be able to print off extra exercises, nothing without that CD. I know in spelling, for instance, you could print off pretty much the entire workbook with the exception of the Thursday activities, the day 4 activities, off that CD. So you really could just buy the teacher's manual and not need the student text for spelling, because they had the word sort, they had the what's day 2 activity, word meaning, I think. They had and it was like pretty much exactly the same exercise that was in the workbook. So I would definitely make sure you have that CD when you're purchasing used. You can find it. I find BJU Press used very inexpensively because there is so much of it. It's kind of like been around for a long time, so a lot of people have it. So you can definitely go the used route, but it doesn't help you if the additions are wrong and don't match the video courses, if that's in your mind, or if they come without the CD. So just some tips when you're looking at those used groups. Make sure that you check the additions and make sure you ask for that CD. All right, those I think are my best tips. I really didn't get far on lunch, but I was standing here by it. I have a few things ready for their lunch, but those are my best tips for buying BJU Press. I think the videos, I'm just going to say this, I think the videos are completely worth every penny they cost. But that doesn't change the fact that they do cost a lot for families that are on one income so that mom or dad can stay home and homeschool the kids. I absolutely think they're worth every penny. They are produced incredibly well. If you get a full grade kit, it's a fifth of the cost of private school education, and you're getting the same education. I think they're worth it. But I know not everybody can afford it. So I wanted to tell you about the after school help. I wanted to tell you about the tips and tricks, ways that I've saved money. I don't buy everything up front. I see what I get in that teacher's CD, or I see what I can find on the after school site first. And then I start to build and buy just the components that I feel like I need to successfully teach the course. Because if you order through a consultant, I am not one, but if you order through a consultant, you get free shipping every day of the year and 10% off. So if you decide, I do want the teacher guide. I can't just do this course with the student book and the after school help, or after school help website. I can't teach this course without the teacher guide. I have to have it. That's fine. If you get it through a consultant, you'll get 10% off and free shipping. You can order multiple times without any real consequence, because shipping is always free with a consultant. So I would say start small. Don't order a whole course kit. Don't. If you have budget concerns, I would order, just as I explained in this video, either just the teacher guide, or, and then print off things for the student, or just the student book and go to the after school website. I would not order everything if money is a concern. I would start small, see what you absolutely have to have, watch YouTube videos, ask me questions, ask your consultant questions, and go from there. But I think you can do BJU incredibly affordably if you use some of these tips. All right. Time for lunch. I'm going to go. Leave me your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you find these things helpful, and give this video a like. I would love to continue this discussion in the comments if you have questions, so please leave that below. And if anything was unclear, please just ask away, and I will clear it up as best I can. Take care, everyone.